I work for the US government in the afterlife/astral plane for the past 5 months. I'm only posting because this was a big day there, where 2 unusual events occurred worth posting about. Firstly, Jim Carrey, who has demigod-tier psychic powers there and is therefore hard to control, is being kept in a concentration camp for rogue human sleepers, sedated. For whatever he's done, usually the powerful humans like him eventually try to have too much freedom, and our government hates that and wants them contained as a threat, so they put them in the camps and sedate them. Which takes away their dreams in our realm, because in the astral plane they're not conscious when they sleep anymore. Anyway, Jim escaped and our squad was sent to capture and return him to the camps. I will describe the camps in another post below, as I was also imprisoned there before being given work release to hunt others. His powers were still vastly weakened due to long-term sedation, but he gave our 8-man squad a decent resistance, but we hit him with the light sticks, then tied him up in the van. The astral plane isn't another dimension, you go there when you sleep, sure, but you can physically travel there too. And our government sent vehicles/guns/physical people, etc. Anyway, our team leader told Jim he will never get to go to Eden, once the reptilians allow humans passage, unless he stops resisting and cooperates instead, and Jim started crying. I felt bad for him. Going through exactly what I went through to get imprisoned there in the first place in the camp 6+ months prior. Jim was like, but I'm important on Earth and they said we appreciate your work there, you were rewarded, but that doesn't give you permission to cause trouble here where things are more important. So the van drove away to return him to the correction camps, and we drove away back to a place connected to it. It's a huge place, 5,000+ acres of human cattle imprisoned. Now on to the second unusual thing that happened. To be clear, human sleepers escape every day and need hunted down, just not Jim Carrey. That's why I'm posting it. And no, I don't know what Eden is or if it's even actually real. Only that our government wants to get there, and I think it's a nickname they came up with, for some awesome place they know about. I've only met non-human beings about 20 times. I don't get paid, by the way. It's a communist type situation where I receive better privileges, food, housing, status, and not being treated like a slave. I'm trying to climb the ranks after years of rebelling just like Jim Carrey did, until I finally gave in. Now I serve them. Anyway, the camps are like Auschwitz mixed with a plantation mixed with a massive university campus. The lowest among us, in the re-education work camps, live in apartment-style buildings that look like you just drove through the ghetto, falling apart, and in the lobby of the central building is a communal cafeteria all the sedated ones go to eat at. There's a big metal cross in the cafeteria we strap people to and electrocute them when they've done bad, so others can see. I was kept there for a year, until just 5 months ago. It's surrounded on all sides by miles of farm fields that we make them work in all day like slaves. Anyway, that's just the concentration camp area. A little further away is administrative area with fancy college campus style buildings and crazy technology everywhere, including a cool giant mobile 20,000 plus square foot building on tank treads. If a rogue sleeper escaped that far, like me and some others did, they've made it past the miles of slave fields, which is farther than 95% of them make it. That's almost to the roads, in front of administrative. You can't reach the roads though. I'll explain why next post if I remember. Then there is the hospitals and labs where they do horrible experiments on people against their will. I will describe some of what I've seen in another post. They're keeping repeat offenders alive in there as nothing more than severed human heads connected to tubes/wires heavily sedated. There's genetically engineered not quite humans in there, engineered to give birth repeatedly to freakish abominations, monsters that don't look human at all. Which brings me to today's second unusual event. Genetically engineered humans, who are great people, and normal just like us by the way, looking 90% identical, but have what I call beaten dog syndrome by being raised in a lab fully controlled like slaves. They just want to be free, escaped, 10 of them. These ones, despite looking 90% human, are genetically engineered to give birth to nightmarish non-human monsters of various kinds. Anyway, we didn't capture them. We killed all of them. Gunned them down. Worst thing I've done there yet. And yet, I must serve them. The consequences of not doing so are too dire. I was called in for a psych evaluation after that and almost cried telling them I can't go back. I'm loyal, this is no problem. I'll keep doing it. I want to stay to be part of this. I don't want to be an outsider again. I want to make it to Eden. I'm a team player please, and they said don't worry, you're making too big a deal out of this evaluation is just routine, it has nothing to do with whether you are fit to keep serving. Your position here is secured so long as you keep doing a good job. So I left, and I clocked out, and woke up back on Earth, to come post this. I was actually more powerful than Jim Carrey, at least in his sedated state. I have no idea his full power, before I went through the same thing he did starting a year and a half ago. I was a rogue sleeper with top 5% powers there. They captured me and sent me to the hospital/lab, where they do horrible experiments on prisoners, and I escaped. So since I was so powerful, they didn't send humans to capture me like with Jim, they sent non-human entities that are more powerful. I was sedated in the camps for a while, living in ghetto apartment buildings under sedated mind control. One day I gained consciousness again and escaped and killed various people hunting me until I got to the roads, where unfortunately they've erected towers that are directed energy weapons and hit me with them, bringing me down. They then kept me as a severed head for months in a lab, kept barely conscious on tubes until my powers became big enough again to spontaneously regrow my body, which I did. I was captured again and put in an 100 feet x 20 feet metal capsule with moving blades arranged in a fractal design that continuously grinded me up, ensuring I could not regenerate. Eventually they recognized I was mind broke and could be an asset instead. I now serve them. My powers almost down to normal levels, who knows if they'll ever regenerate after being used up to an extreme extent like that. It seems to be like a battery. And it's drained. Anyway, your condition there is reflected in your Earth life as well. My IQ on Earth used to be 140, but after what they did to me in the labs they lowered it to 90, there and here. My service there is resulting in a higher quality life here on Earth. They've increased my luck, blessings really, so that me and my family is safer, and it's easier for us to make money, etc., as a reward for my service there. Whatever's going on there, and on Earth, makes the Matrix look like a joke. Reality is 100% completely controlled. Not by the humans but the reptilians and other strange entities I've seen there that my bosses answer to.
Are you a targeted individual? Have you had a paranormal encounter, or are the victim of an unregulated government experiment and would like to share your story with us? Would you like to send us some fan mail or a hate-filled rant? Do you have an idea for a future episode or wish to send a complaint to HR? Email us at atomicshaman@protonmail.com. Like, share, subscribe and be sure to check the notification bell. Follow the Atomic Shaman on Twitter at Motel and RV Park. Listen to Paranormal Green Text Stories on Atomic Shaman TTS on YouTube. Catch the live streams of Atomic Shaman Sweat Lodge only on Rumble.